The guinea is a coin of approximately 1/4 ounce of gold that was minted in the Kingdom of England and later in the Kingdom of Great Britain and the United Kingdom between 1663 and 1814. It was the first English machine-struck gold coin, originally worth £1 sterling, equal to 20 shillings. But rises in the price of gold relative to silver caused the value of the guinea to increase, at times to as high as 30 shillings. From 1717 until 1816, its value was officially fixed at 21 shillings. Following that, Great Britain adopted the gold standard and guinea became a colloquial or specialised term. The name came from the Guinea region in West Africa, where much of the gold used to make the coins originated. Although no longer circulated, the term guinea survives in some circles, notably horse racing, and in the sale of rams, to mean an amount of £1 and 1 shilling or £1 and 5 pence in decimalised currency. The name also forms the basis for the Arabic word for the Egyptian pound Omoushu el-Genēh, as a sum of 100 Qirsh was worth approximately 21 shillings at the end of the 19th century. Origin: the first guinea was produced on February 6, 1663, and was made legal currency by a proclamation of March 27, 1663. 1 troy pound of 11/12 fine gold would make 44 1/2 guineas, each thus theoretically weighing 129.438 grains. The denomination was originally worth £1, or 20 shillings, but an increase in the price of gold during the reign of King Charles II led to its being traded at a premium. The price of gold continued to increase, especially in times of trouble, and by the 1680s the coin was worth 22 shillings. Indeed, in his diary entries for June 13, 1667, Samuel Pepys records that the price was 24 shillings to 25 shillings. The diameter of the coin was 1 inch throughout Charles II's reign, and the average gold purity was 0.9100. Guinea was not an official name for the coin, but much of the gold used to produce the early coins come from Guinea in Africa. The coin was produced each year between 1663 and 1684, with the elephant appearing on some coins each year from 1663 €65 and 1668. And the elephant and castle on some coins from 1674 onward. 17th century. The obverse and reverse of this coin were designed by John Roettier. The obverse showed a fine right-facing bust of the king wearing a laurel wreath, surrounded by the legend Carols to Dei Gratia, while the reverse showed 4 crown cruciform shields bearing the arms of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland, between which were 4 sceptres, and in the centre were 4 interlinked CS, surrounded by the inscription Mag Branch Fraahib Rex Date. To avoid confusion with gilded silver coins, the edge was milled to deter clipping or filing. Until 1669 the milling was perpendicular to the edge, giving vertical grooves, while from 1670 the milling was diagonal to the edge. John Roettier continued to design the dies for this denomination in the reign of King James II. In this reign, the coins weighed 8.5 ag with a diameter of 25 €26 and were minted in all years between 1685 and 1688, with an average gold purity of 0.9094. Coins of each year were issued both with and without the elephant and castle mark. The king's head face is left in this reign, and is surrounded by the inscription Iacobus to Dei Gratia, while the reverse is the same as in Charles II's reign except for omitting the interlinked CS in the center of the coin. The edge of the coins are milled diagonally. With the removal of James II in the Glorious Revolution of 1688, his daughter Mary, and her husband Prince William of Orange ruled jointly by agreement as co-monarchs. Their heads appear conjoined on the guinea piece in Roman style, with William's head uppermost, with the legend Gviums a Maria Dei Gratia. In a departure from the previous reigns, the reverse featured a totally new design of a large crown shield which bore the arms of England and France in the first and fourth quarters, of Scotland in the second quarter, and of Ireland in the third quarter, the whole ensemble having a small shield in the centre bearing the rampant Lion of Nassau. The legend on the obverse read Mag Branch Fraahib Rex a Regina Date. By the early part of this reign the value of the guinea had increased to nearly 30 shillings. The guineas of this reign weighed 8.5 grams, were 25 euro 26 in diameter, and were the work of James and Norbert Roetier and were produced in all years between 1689 and 1694 both with and without the elephant and castle. In 1692 and 1693 the mark of the elephant alone was also used. Following the death of Queen Mary from smallpox in 1694, William continued to reign as William III. The guinea coin was produced in all years from 1695 to 1701, both with and without the elephant and castle, the design probably being the work of Johann Crocker, also known as John Crocker, since James Roetier had died in 1698 and his brother Norbert had moved to France in 1695. The coins of William III's reign weighed 8.4 ag with an average gold purity of 0.9123. The diameter was 25 euro 26 until 1726 euro 27 in 1701. William's head faces right on his coins, with the legend Guillaume's 3 Dei Gratia, while the reverse design of William and Mary's reign was judged to be unsuccessful, so the design reverted to that used by Charles II and James II, but with a small shield with the Lion of Nassau in the center, with the legend Mag Branch Fraahib Rex date. The coin had a diagonal milled edge. 18th century, Queen Anne. The reign of Queen Anne produced guineas in all years between 1702 and 1714 except for 1704. The 1703 guinea bears the word Vigo under the Queen's bust, to commemorate the origin of the gold taken from the Spanish ships at the Battle of Vigo Bay. With the Acts of Union 1707 creating a unified Kingdom of Great Britain through the union of the Parliament of Scotland with the Parliament of England, the design of the reverse of the first truly British guinea was changed. Until the Union, the cruciform shields on the reverse showed the arms of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland in order, separated by sceptres and with a central rose, and the legend Mag Brifraahib Reg date. With the Act of Union, the English and Scottish arms appear conjoined on one shield, with the left half being the English arms and the right half being the Scottish arms, and the order of arms appearing on the shields becomes England and Scotland, France, England and Scotland, Ireland. The elephant and castle can appear on the coins of 1708 and 1709. The center of the reverse design shows the star of the Order of the Garter. The coins weighed 8.3 ag, were 25 in diameter, and had a gold purity of 0.9134. The edge of the coin is milled diagonally. In 1717, Great Britain adopted the gold standard, at a rate of 1 guinea to 129.438 grains of crown gold, which was 22-carat gold. The dies for all guineas of Queen Anne and King George I were engraved by John Crocker, an immigrant originally from Dresden in the Duchy of Saxony. George I. King George I's guinea coins were struck in all years between 1714 and 1727, with the elephant and castle sometimes appearing in 1721, 1722, and 1726. His guineas are notable for using 5 different portraits of the king, and the 1714 coin is notable for declaring him to be Prince Elector of the Holy Roman Empire. The coins weighed 8.3 euro 8.4 grams, were 25 euro 26 millimeters in diameter, and the average gold purity was 0.9135. The 1714 obverse shows the right-facing portrait of the king with the legend Georgiev's DG Mag Branch Fraahib Rex FD, while the later coins bear the legend Georgiev's DG Mbr Fraahib Rex FD. The reverse follows the same general design as before, except the order of the shields is England and Scotland, France, Ireland, and Hanover, with the legend in 1714 BRVNALVNDVXSRIATHET Prairie EL 1714, and in other years BRVNALDVXSRIATHAL date. The edge of the coin is milled diagonally. The value of the guinea had fluctuated over the years from 20 shillings to 30 shillings and back down to 21 shillings and sixpence by the start of George's reign. A royal proclamation of December 1717 fixed the value of the guinea at 21 shillings. George II. King George II's guinea pieces are a complex issue, with 8 obverses and 5 reverses used through the 33 years of the reign. The coins were produced in all years of the reign except 1742, 1744, 1754, and 1757. The coins weighed 8.3 euro 8.4 ag, and were 25 euro 26 in diameter except for some of the 1727 coins which were 24 euro 25 m. The average gold purity was 0.9140. Some coins issued between 1729 and 1739 carry the mark EIC under the king's head, to indicate the gold was provided by the East India Company, while some 1745 coins carry the mark LIMA to indicate the gold came from Admiral George Anson's round-the-world voyage. In the early part of the reign the edge of the coin was milled diagonally, but from 1739 following the activities of a particularly bold gang of Guinea filers for whom a reward was posted, the milling was changed to produce the shape of a chevron or arrowhead. In 1732 the old hammered gold coinage was demonetized, and it is thought that some of the old coins were melted down to create more guineas. The obverse has a left-facing bust of the king with the legend George's 2 Dei Gratia, while the reverse features a single large crown shield with the quarters containing the arms of England plus Scotland, France, Hanover, and Ireland, and the legend MBFAHREXFDBALDSRIATAE. Unlike the 2 Guinea and 5 Guinea coins, production of the guinea continued through much of the long reign of King George III. George III. The guineas of King George III weighed 8.4 ag and were 24 mm in diameter, with an average gold purity of 0.9146. They were issued with 6 different obverses and 3 reverses in 1761, 1763 euro 79, 1781 euro 99, and 1813. All the obverses show right-facing busts of the king with the legend George's 3 Dei Gratia with different portraits of the king. The reverse of guineas issued between 1761 and 1786 show a crown shield bearing the arms of England plus Scotland, France, Ireland and Hanover, with the legend MBFAHREXFDBALDSRIATAE date. In 1787 a new design of reverse featuring a spade-shaped shield was introduced, with the same legend. This has become known as the spade guinea. In 1774 almost 20 million worn guineas of King William III and Queen Anne were melted down and recoined as guineas and half guineas. Towards the end of the century gold began to become scarce and rise in value. The French Revolution and the subsequent French Revolutionary Wars had drained gold reserves and people started hoarding coins. Parliament passed a law making banknotes legal tender in any amount, and in 1799 the production of guineas was halted, although half and third guineas continued to be struck. Following the Act of Union between Great Britain and Ireland in 1800, the king's titles changed, and an order in Council of November 5, 1800 directed the Master of the Mint to prepare a new coinage, but although designs were prepared, the production of guineas was not authorised. 19th century. In 1813 it was necessary to strike 80,000 guineas to pay the Duke of Wellington's army in the Pyrenees, as the local people would accept only golden payment. This issue has become known as the military guinea. At this time, gold was still scarce and the guinea was trading on the open market for 27 shillings in paper money, so the coining of this issue for the army's special needs was a poor deal for the government, and this was the last issue of guineas to be minted. The reverse of the military guinea is a unique design, showing a crown shield within a garter, with HONI Swakim Mal YPENSE on the garter, and Britanniarum Rex Fidei Defensor around the edge, and 1813 between the edge inscription and the garter. Replacement by the pound. In the Great Recoinage of 1816, the guinea was replaced as the major unit of currency by the pound and in coinage with a sovereign. Even after the coin ceased to circulate, the name guinea was long used to indicate the amount of 21 shillings. The guinea had an aristocratic overtone. Professional fees and payment for land, horses, art, bespoke tailoring, furniture and other luxury items were often quoted in guineas until a couple of years after decimalisation in 1971. It was similarly used in Australia until that country went to decimal currency in 1966. It is still quoted in the pricing and sale of livestock at auction and race horses, where the purchaser will pay in guineas but the seller will receive payment in an equal number of pounds. The difference is traditionally the auctioneer's commission. Many major horse races in Great Britain, Ireland, Canada, New Zealand and Australia bear names ending in 1,000 guineas, or 2,000 guineas, even though the nominal values of their purses today are much higher than the £1,050 or £2,100 suggested by their names. Gallery. See also, Egyptian pound, the native name of which is derived from the guinea, to which it was approximately equal in value in the late 19th century. References. External links: British coins, British gold coins, Guinea archive, a gallery of Guinea pictures, varieties and values.